these are just a different way that we can write square roots or cube roots, any kind of root really. Any sort of root can be rewritten as a rational exponent. So I can rewrite any radical, all radicals can be rewritten with a rational exponent. It doesn't matter what it is. So even radical 16, you might look at this and you can tell this is 4, but there's actually an invisible 1 and an invisible 2 here. These are invisible. So the square root or the radical of 16, I could also rewrite this as 16 to the 1/2 power. And these both mean the same thing. These would both equal 4. The difference here is that this check mark, this bar, we call that a radical. And this exponent over here, the exponent, we call this rational because it's a fraction. On the second example, so here I have the 4th root of x to the 6th power. That's a very strange root. We would probably never do this or never use this, but I can rewrite this with a rational exponent. I can rewrite this as x to the 6/4 power. So this is, again, the 6/4. This is called the rational exponent. And just like any other fraction, I can reduce this also. This would reduce to 3/2. So x to the 3/2 power. Okay, so really we can do this with any radical. Even this, so 25 to the 1/2 power, I can rewrite that as square root of 25 or radical 25. And there's an invisible 1 and an invisible 2 here. If I don't write them, that's where they are. But I don't have to write those. When I evaluate this, this is just the square root, the radical 25. This is going to be 5. Let's do one more. So the second one is 81 to the 1/4 power. So again, just like before, I can rewrite this in radical form. This would be 81 to the 4th root. And again, there's kind of an invisible 1 here, invisible 1, but you don't have to write that. When I evaluate this, so notice I can rewrite the 4th root. I could write that as the square root of a square root. So I'm doing the square root of the square root of 81. Square root of 81 is 9. And then the square root of 9 is just 3. Let's do another one. So this one a little bit trickier. Again, says write the expression in radical form and then evaluate. So I have -8 to the 1/3 power. I can rewrite this as the cube root of -8. And again, there's an invisible 1 here, but I don't have to write the 1. Okay, so this is going to equal -2, and I'll show you why. The cube root just means what number times itself 3 times is going to equal -8. If I do -2 times -2, that gives me +4. And then times -2 another time is going to give me -8. So that just means that -2 times -2 times -2, so -2 cubed is going to equal -8. So this is a little tricky here because you have to think backwards.